We have hit over 150 subscribers, and we want to say thank you. Our channel is so important. It's important to me because of my own ups and downs with financial trauma and ultimately being able to get to a place of healing. So as promised, one blessed subscriber will receive 2 free months of credit repair. Have you ever had credit repair? Do you know what credit repair means? How would it feel to have 2 free months of credit repair? Drop it in the comments and let me know. Those that leave a comment on this video will be in the choosing of subscribers for this gift. So comment below if you want it to be you. I want you to know that I read every single one of my comments because this journey from financial therapy to prosperity is a healing journey for all of us. And I want you to know that you are heard, and I want you to know that I am listening. My name is Tamoa Danielle, and today we are talking about our money trauma and how situations in our childhood sparks our financial trauma. There are so many underlining things that happen revolving around our thoughts around money. I know most of us have had experiences in our life with money where we have our family or friends fight about money, but many times it's not even about the money. We learn about money from the time that we're babies. Our first money memories start from that time that we're children, and generally it sets the stage for our relationships with our finances. We end up having a very personal and unique experience with money, but usually we don't take the time to reflect on this and how our thoughts truly shape our relationship with money. So today, we are talking about 4 ways to identify financial trauma from childhood. So in my previous videos, I talked a lot about identifying financial trauma and what financial trauma is. And for sure, identifying financial trauma from childhood is not easy. It involves us looking at and understanding our emotional and behavior patterns that start with our past experiences with money, which I call our money memories. So number 1 are what we call emotional indicators. These are things like our anxiety and our thoughts around money, our guilt and shame around money, our fear of poverty, and also avoidance. So when we have worry and anxiety, when we're thinking about our finances, it usually puts some type of financial threat in our head, and it makes us shut down. And many times we feel like we're incapable of making smart decisions based on our fears, which also relates to the guilt and the shame. So then we have habits that involve spending money that are connected to these thoughts and feelings. So the question is, where do these feelings come from? They come from our experiences. So let me give you an example about myself. I know that my fear of poverty, my fear of not having enough, my fear of going into debt and becoming broke really comes from my own experience from when my family went through a complete financial loss. And it was to the point that we lost our home, we lost our cars, and we had to move all the way across the country with family so that my parents could rebuild financially. The thing is that all of this planted a seed in my head that I had to overcome, but the seed stayed so long in my head that it was a rippling effect, like a domino effect when it came to finances, where I wrapped so much anxiety, guilt, and shame, fear of poverty, fear of a lack, fear of avoidance because of what happened when I was a teenager with our finances. So let's move into number 2, behavioral indicators. This can include compulsive spending and compulsive saving, making it difficult to make financial decisions. This also includes something called under-earning and financial dependency. Under-earning means when you consistently are undercharging for services, like when you own your own business, or accepting lower paying jobs despite being qualified for opportunities. The reason why this is something that really needs to be highlighted is it goes back to self-worth, which can be related to your money memories and the experiences of your past. So I know we have talked a lot about self-worth before, but our self-worth is connected to our thoughts and our experience from childhood. So of course, this can be related to our thoughts and feelings about money that we experienced early in life. So with these behavioral indicators, again, the extreme behaviors like hoarding money and compulsive spending are something that people really do have an issue with. Sometimes the spending of money is on meaningless things just to satisfy and soothe whatever that feeling is that was created when we were younger. This creates excessive stress when it comes to even making the smallest financial decisions because they become so overwhelming. That the fear is wrapped around money. And then lastly, relying heavily on other people for financial support, even when it's possible for you to take care of your own finances. This is a decision that happens many times because people are scared to move and use their own money because of feeling that there will be a lack there and that somehow they will have some type of financial loss if they use their own money. Number 3 is relational patterns. So this includes having conflict over money, frequent arguments around money with family members or your partner, and then really being secretive about your money and your financial matters because of fear and judgment. Now, this is a big one for all of us, me included. Keeping those financial secrets has to do with feeling shameful about the decisions that we make financially. I think that this is one of the biggest types of issues within marriages or partnerships, but for me, when I was married, I wanted to take care of everything. I wanted to be the one that have the control over managing our finances. And while for some relationships, this is not an issue because, one person may be stronger with managing finances. For me, this was an issue because my control over our finances had to do with the issues that I had when I was younger because I didn't want any kind of financial ruin to happen. I didn't want to experience that type of loss again. But what I did internally was I wasn't talking to my partner about the fear, the shame, the guilt that I had in the past. And what this did was it put me into a bubble and that I was experiencing alone. And I didn't want to tell my partner because I put all the responsibility on me to take the burden of our finances because of my past and what happened when I was a child. And number 4, reflecting on childhood experiences. So identifying these is actually key. Our childhood experiences can involve our parents' influences when going through economic hardships and also messages from society. And whatever expectations that you heard when you grew up around money. So let's consider about how your parents or guardians manage money. Did they argue about finances? Was one person more tight with the purse and one person was more carefree with spending money? What did you see? Did you see arguments at home or did everybody just shut down and not talk about the money or the financial burdens? So because these indicators relate back to your behaviors and your emotions that are tied to the way that you handle finances, and how you go through your economic hardships. This is the reason why this explains what happens to us when we're younger and how these decisions would impact us because we're watching adults and how they handle money. So watching your parents and going through, things like job loss or eviction, or just growing up with a lack of basic needs, this is a huge impact on our relationships with money. And the messaging that we receive as children, especially from that time that, we're growing up in society and everything that's going on outside of our home that relates to money. This definitely impacts all of our thoughts around around money. And so, being able to identify these 4 indicators, again, can be key to financial healing. And recognizing the signs and the patterns is an important process for making sure that we lead with compassion and grace for ourselves as we walk through this journey of healing. So I always say seek professional support, financial coaching, support groups, and definitely therapy. Our credit gem of the day is going to be short and sweet. Look at your credit report. We are breaking free from fear and moving into freedom. Learn and understand how your credit impacts you and how to renew your credit and your finances. Hire someone to teach you. Find information. We have so much information available at our fingertips. So utilize this resource. I appreciate you spending time with me today. Remember to ring that bell, subscribe. And tell me how you're feeling in the comments below and let me know if this content helps you. What you post is valuable, and don't forget to like and share. And remember, you are your greatest value. You are your greatest asset. Take care.